cosmology, modern science tells us about the coming into existence of the universe and human life and any kind of life. So this is part of, inshallah, the afal that we'll begin with that. There are three other questions here. All human beings are born on the fitrah, but why atheists still deny the existence of God? This is a very, very foundational question. We do have people who say they don't believe in the existence of Allah. And we said that they have the consciousness in their being. So we need to differentiate between an active assertion, an act of testifying the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the absolute existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mutlaq, al-wujud al-mutlaq, yani He is present whether we acknowledge or not. So those, because we have atheists who say, I don't believe that Allah exists, that is bi afwahim, that is from their mouths. It is a statement of their mouth which has no corresponding reality. It's like saying red snow exists. Today I saw red snow coming down. It's a statement that doesn't correspond to actual reality. Because in the constitution of every human being, there is the presence of the awareness of a creator. The limbs, the heart, the tongue, every little particle in our being is imbued, is infused with the consciousness of the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He then gave humankind the choice of saying, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah. I testify consciously, willingly, that Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, that there is no one worthy of worship. Again, the testimony of our belief is not that there is Allah exists or not. It is about Tawheed. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, that there is no ilah other than Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given the choice of saying, to human beings whether Allah exists or not. It's a very fine line, but it's very clear. Existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a reality existing by itself. Acknowledgement of that reality is a choice human beings can make. And there are consequences of making that choice or not making that choice. The path, the consequences, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clarified. Those to whom these consequences, the reward and the punishment, the knowledge has not reached, they are still charged with acknowledging the existence because it's built in them. They may not know how to pray, how to worship, but because this example we gave of Hayy ibn Yaqzan, because this consciousness is something without which existence cannot be, human existence cannot be. So we can make a case of a child born in a home of atheists. Day in and day out, the child is breathing this air of, and there can be countries, the entire country can believe, say, no, there is no God, as happened in communism, for example, in some places. But you see, it doesn't last. When the child grows up, comes to an age when faculties have started to work, sight, hearing, akal, deduction, the influence of the upbringing is there. It's layers and layers and layers of darkness on the heart, saying there is no God. But the child is now not a helpless individual, adult with ability to think, see, hear, come into contact with other people, seek And everybody, you see this always, I'm struggling to find what's the purpose of my life. This happens all the time because there is something in the human beings are not machines that are programmed to not believe or believe. They have a life in them. They have an active reality to exist. They have needs to eat. They become sick. They come in emotional, psychological, spiritual situations where they cry out, where there is need to find out for oneself. At that point, the impact of upbringing, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-A'raf, we cannot come with this excuse that our forefathers, we found our parents or forefathers doing shirk. I think that's probably enough. Is there any other questions anywhere? So inshallah we are going to go to the next part of the theme of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which would be the human need. This is also very fascinating. The human need to see the proofs of existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The human need to see the proofs of oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Tawheed. And these are the areas with which the Qur'an is filled. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us three kinds, proofs from the three realms of existence, open to everyone at all times, throughout history, from the beginning until the end of time. There are three realms from which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala offers the proofs for His Tawheed and the imperative for human beings to worship Him alone. The first is the cosmos. So this theme would come under the theme of all, the actions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the first and the foremost is the action of creation. The second is human history. The second realm is human history. And the Qur'an has a very integrated, complete philosophy of history. We are not taught this anymore. We have constructed other frameworks of history. But in the Qur'an there is a total framework of study of history. And the third is the nafs itself. What happens inside our own beings, regardless of the outer circumstances. So inshallah, we go into those details next time. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. يا الله أنت حليم كريم عظيم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا كريم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن العظيم. اللهم يا الله أنت حليم كريم عظيم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. يا الله أنت نور السماوات والأرض نور قلوبنا. اللهم نور قلوبنا. اللهم نور قلوبنا. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.